picked up a couple of patrons this week. All right, y'all got anything else before we jump into this week's NWA show?
No.
Let's do this shit. That's why.
Oh,
we're here.
wait! You did on the Twitter page clipped a picture of the guy in the background that was shirtless and flexing behind Dusty and Nikita. That was a good time. That guy's my hero, man. I want Harper and I to party with that guy because think of the fun we could have.
There was a bunch of people on the Twitter page that mentioned that they were there that night.
Right.
And I think one guy said something about, I remember everybody pointing at that guy when he did that. And if you look to the left, there's like 3 or 4 fans pointing like, holy shit, look at that asshole. Making fun of the dude who ripped his shirt off and was flexing for the turn. So good stuff there. Really, really good stuff. So, all right, y'all ready to do this?
Yeah, buddy. 31 minutes, man.
This is NWA WCW from November 8th of 1986. We are always sponsored by you, the listener. Again, tinyurl.com/BTT patron. So we jump into this week's Saturday night. There is a missing episode from NWA from the network, which would have been November 1st. It's not there. That's why we went to the 8th. Last week, you might remember that the Horsemen said on Worldwide that they were going to completely pull out of Starrcade 1986. And the three of us were like, well, if that happens, there is no Starrcade 86. They said that if the NWA didn't allow the first blood match with Tully for the NWA TV title, we were going to be shit out of luck and no Horsemen would be there. So Jim Crockett did announce on Worldwide on November 1st that he would allow the first blood match between Tully and Dusty for the TV title, but there was an additional component added to Starrcade, and that would be that Rick was going to be made to defend against Nikita Koloff, and Rick wasn't too happy about that. So I kind of wanted to get that out there. That way you all knew where we were with things and what was, pretty much going on. So that's just a quick update on that one. Now, we get into the actual show, and it starts off with Corny throwing a fit. So let's listen to Jim Cornette as the show kicks off.
Welcome to the #1 wrestling program in the world, and that's Worldwide Wrestling. I tell you what, Tony, out here already, top the towers, the Twin Towers, the Skywalker match.
David, Starrcade right around the corner. We're going to have some big news today about some more matches during Starrcade. But we know about the Night of the Skywalkers, and we've seen a couple of pumpkins drop off the scaffold already.
For why, I want one thing plainly clear to everybody in this country. Do not call me or the Midnight Express Pumpkinhead. I'm getting sick and tired of that. I'm hearing it all over the arenas, and I don't like it. Now, let me tell you something. Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, what you have done is you have got yourself in a match that I don't believe you fully realize all the implications of. Besides the fact they're going to construct those towers on each side of the ring, they're going to stick a board across the top. It's a few feet wide, 20 feet long, stretches all the way across the ring, and you have the fight on that board. Anything goes. There ain't no rules because it ain't a wrestling match. Anything that we can tote or carry on our backs up that scaffold, that's exactly what they're going to do. And let me tell you something. I've had Big Bubba out too. He's climbing things. He's climbing poles like he's been working for the telephone company for 25 years, and he's ready too, just in case. But Road Wars, I don't believe we're going to need Bubba because I think my Midnight Express are more than able to take care of you. We did it before, and we can do it again. It's a death-defying match. It's on a scaffold, but still, like I said before, anything the Midnight Express can do on the ground, they can do in the air, brother. And I'm going to tell you something right now, Road Wars. Ellering, you listen real good if you care anything about those two big oxes. If you think for 1 second that if you took a poke in the eye or a bad step or made a wrong move and you were clinging from that scaffold by your fingertips, hanging on for dear life, screaming and squealing, Road Wars, if you think for 1 second that the Midnight Express would slap you in the head or poke you in the eye or stomp those fingers and send you on your way 25 feet down to the floor, then you just bet your life on it, because that's exactly what you're doing, betting your life against the greatest tag team in the history of professional wrestling, Loverboy Dennis and beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express.
All right, Harper, I'm going to throw it to you first. Doc's telling me he's having problems hearing. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, you heard that whole promo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw it to you first, and then we'll throw it to Doc if he can hear me right now.
I love when he says Bubba's he's been practicing climbing a pole like a fucking telephone guy, and I just picture him with the fucking hard hat on, you know, fucking Bubba with the hard hat and that fucking strap, practicing climbing up a fucking pole. I thought that was funny. And then
you said it. That is.
And then I love how he points out how dangerous this is. You take one poke to the fucking eye, that's your ass. You're gonna fucking fall, bruh. You got problems here. And he points out to how dangerous this is, and how how you could easily get fucked up.
Pretty much. I mean, you're in a high risk situation. You're in a volatile situation up there. Any little. I'm telling you, man. I don't know the last time you saw this match, but I remember watching it a while back, and it's.
I gotta watch it because I haven't seen it, forever.
It's garbage. It's garbage.
Well, it's not.
Really?
Well, I'm not gonna say that.
It's garbage.
It's not garbage.
It's garbage.
But
scaffold is whatever language that comes from for garbage.
It's not garbage. However, it's fucking. I'm just sitting there looking at that old rickety ass goddamn scaffold shaking like that's two big bastards and two decent sized dudes up there, and then you get Corny involved climbing that sumbitch, and I'm just like, this can't end well. And it's just one of those things where it's just a catastrophe waiting to happen.
Hey, one thing I noticed looking at these promos is, we don't have much longer for Condrey to be a member of the Midnight Express, and Corny talks about how fried he was. I'm just thinking about, like, when I see him, how on edge he was, because he started talking a few weeks ago. He's standing right there at the mic this time. He's what's going on in his head in his real life right there.
Nah, there's some truth to that. Yeah, what is he thinking? Like, shit, I'm almost out of here. I'm almost tired. Because you're right. I mean, we're not far off from the Stan Lane version.
Right.
I can't remember the date. I mean,
his old lady's up his ass for how much they're on the road. I got to go up on the scaffold. Fucking the Road Warriors don't want to sell for us. Man, fuck this shit. I'm going back to Alabama.
Harbor, you probably remember the Stan Lane version more than this version, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You were watching more during that time. I mean, this is the version I remember more than any other because of Mid-South. But I know there are people out there who they only there's people who actually will go, oh yeah, Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton. They don't even. It's crazy. I mean, but there's people who aren't old enough to remember Dennis Condrey in there.
See, Condrey's the one I remember more than Stan Lane.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. It just depends on like what era you started watching. Like that's when I think Midnight Express, I actually think Condrey and Eaton first. So okay.
And Eaton's not the first guy, pal.
Right. Yeah, I found that out about a year ago. I had no clue.
Who's the first guy?
Randy Rose.
Oh yeah.
And they had Norvell Austin with them.
God damn.
God damn.
That blew my mind when I heard those names. So, okay, let's keep going. We got.
Hey man, what's wrong? What's wrong down in New Orleans, man? Why is the Pelly's game delayed? Are y'all having another hurricane down there?
No, I think they realized that Pelicans just suck, so they just said, let's not even play.
Fair enough. Carry on, Mike.
Well, we have a match between the Midnight. With the Midnight, Big Bubba, Tony Zane, Vernon Deaton, and Brody Chase, a 6-man tag. Cornette's on commentary. He's just bitching about the scaffold match the whole time. Midnight and Bubba win. I don't have any notes. Doc, you got any notes from that?
Bubba's a big motherfucker to be coming off that top rope.
And let me tell you something. You see how much better he's starting to look, too? Just right here? Than when he was in those job matches? It's crazy.
Well, he's in the car. He's in the car every night. He's learning with the former world champs.
Sure the fuck is.
Corny is guiding his career, pal.
Up next, we got a promo. It's Ric Flair. And remember, they announced on Worldwide the week before Rick would be defending against Nikita. So keep that in mind as I play this promo. Here's Rick.
The match is signed for Starrcade for the World Heavyweight title. The champion Ric Flair will defend against Nikita Koloff. And ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world, Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Well, that's kind of like saying, here's Slick Rick. Never let it be said
In the case of Ric Flair, that clothes make the man because clothes don't make this man, even though I am the premier clothes horse in the world today. What makes this man is this right here, Tony Schiavone. Need I say anymore? I am the world's heavyweight wrestling champion. And Nikita Koloff, approximately. Baby, I know I'm slick, but when I'm talking, I don't like any female conversation. What I'm telling everybody out there is, in exactly 2 weeks and 5 days from now, Nikita Koloff has got to walk that aisle. He's got to convince himself, and he's got to convince the world that he's ready to take the biggest step of his entire life. You see, Nikita, woo, Starrcade 86, the biggest wrestling event of all time. I'm going to make a lot of money. You know why? Because I'm Ric Flair, woo, the world champion. And I need those big bucks, because I like those long limousines, and I like the nice clothes, and I like the pretty ladies, and I like the big house on the big side of town. In other words, Nikita, I gotta have this, because this is Ric Flair, and this is mine. And you see, Nikita, the problem with you is it's gonna be a gut check. You gotta talk yourself into really believing that you can beat Ric Flair. I don't think so. Woo!
And when we come back...
That motherfucker's out there scoreboarding again, in my opinion. But I'm gonna throw it to I'll throw it to Doc first and get his thoughts, because that was my note after watching this. He had me so into it. I wrote Rick is scoreboarding. He's high stepping Deion Sanders right now.
Well, he's got to know going into this that he's got to up his game, because he's got Nikita on the other side.
But which Nikita ain't like terrible.
What?
I don't think he's the drizzling shits.
What?
Put it this way: at this age, when I'm watching this and I think back at it now, I'm thinking to myself, Nikita knows enough that Rick is gonna get him through it. That's what I'm saying.
We're on a podcast where you have repeatedly skipped past his promos.
I'm talking about it's his promos. I'm not in the ring. He just was a big son of a gun.
No, I'm talking about in the promos, dude. The talking to the building.
Yeah,
Rick's gonna have to carry both looks.
Oh, okay.
So he comes out there and he dials it up, and it's, I gotta have this. This is what I do. This is who I am. So, and I love the point of, yeah, pal, this is your night, but for me, it's just another night. And you've got to be the best in your life that night. I'm this way every day. And he basically told the broads, when I'm talking, keep your yap shut.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you come over here and take my pants off and start,
what?
Then
Trying
it's
to get sponsors.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Well, maybe we sucking factory to sponsor us.
Shut up. You did break up there, Doc, so I don't know if it's your computer. Doc dropped his computer before we started recording, so I don't know if that's tonight. That's another issue we're working through. I'll let him tell a story of this at the end of the show if he wants. It has to do with his wife, though. Jesus Christ. Doc, do you want to say that now before we throw it to Harper, or you rather not talk about it?
No, I don't want to talk about it. Become a patron and maybe I'll think about it. And by the way, let me say this, because I didn't get a chance earlier. You've had some inquiries. Hey, I'm not a patron, but can I get that? Can I get a fix of that patron material for free?
Fuck you.
The answer's no.
Shit.
Answer's got to be no, pal. That first one was free, and now everything else is going to cost you.
Mm-hmm. It ain't on YouTube, motherfucker.
Okay, damn, y'all.
It's called a business model for a reason.
All right,
Bitches.
Harper, your thoughts on Ric Flair as y'all are going off on something. I don't know why, but go ahead.
Bruh, when he says, you got to talk yourself into believing you can beat me. I'm fucking, Jesus Christ, bruh.
I thought of that too.
God.
When he said that, I was like, yeah, motherfucker. I was
You gotta
like,
talk yourself into thinking you could fucking beat me, you fucker.
I always say this all the time. When we watch these things, Doc and I are married, so sometimes we have to watch these at like what people would consider like inconvenient times, maybe late at night. Maybe the house is already starting to go to sleep, and I'm trying to get it in, get some notes in. That way I can, make sure I got his stuff well ahead in advance, planned out. And he said that I was late. I was watching it, and I was like, "Ooh, you nailed it." He said, "Nikita, I know I can beat him, but Nikita has to convince himself he can beat me." Damn, you just threw a haymaker on that one.
Yes.
I mean, that was some Mike Tyson. That was one of them Mike Tyson. I'm about to knock out one of those saps he knocked out back in the day. When he was on his world championship undefeated reign. I mean, damn, bro. But yeah, that was some good stuff. So, all right, well, we'll keep going. Next up, and I'm not going to play any of this. I'll just kind of narrate a little bit what happened. We go to the Starrcade Control Center. Shivani does tell us about the NWA World Tag Team title match between the Rock and Roll Express and Ole and Arn. That's going to be in the cage for the titles. Crockett claims it's the first time that the tag champs have ever asked for this in a cage. So the specifics there is the tag champs have actually asked for the cage. He says that's a first. Crockett also tells us that Wahoo versus Rick will happen in an Indian strap match. And then they show Wahoo getting hung by the strap in one of the either Worldwide or NWA Pro shows that were on in syndication. Wahoo cuts a promo, but I'm not going to play it here because there's one later on in the episode. And then Shivani then rattles off the remainder of the Starrcade card, which I'm not going to go through now because, we're going to do Starrcade in a few weeks. Doc, anything from the Control Center before we move forward?
Man, my thought was they're going down these matches. Starrcade is jacked. It's stacked up. It's stacked up, dude. It's just that card is. Let's order it. Let's get together and have a party and go down to the cable company, down to Cox Cable, and get ourselves a cable box, a Cox box, if you will, and let's do this. It's got to be what, $54.95 by now? Come on.
For people who don't know, Cox Cable is the name of the cable company in New Orleans. Cox. Jesus.
Cox. Dick's. Like Dick's Sporting Goods. We got Cox Cable.
I wonder if Dix and Cox play with each other. Whatever. All right. I'll keep going here. Harper, anything from the Starrcade Control Center you want to go over?
What made... I had to rewind it when it says Baron is in a tag match with fucking Hector. And I had to rewind it to make sure, because I'm thinking...
yes.
Right. It's got to be Baron versus Hector.
The Germans and the Mexicans, the Nazis and the Mexicans are teaming up again.
I guess. Jesus Christ.
Well, no. Remember, Baron turned like 3 weeks ago. They haven't really showed anything.
He's a fucking Nazi.
Let's don't gloss over the headline there, pal.
I understand he's a Nazi, but my point is he's
just because the bad guys beat him up doesn't make him a good guy yet.
I know,
he needs to go to one of those schools where they teach you how to not be gay or something. So he can stop being a gay Nazi.
And that's why we don't get sponsors. Because somebody listens to that and they take that way too serious.
But
people
that's why we...
Who, gay Nazis?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, gay Nazis.
But that's why we have patrons, pal. And that's why we do it for you people.
That's right.
We take out the middleman and bring the dirty content straight to you.
My greater point here was, yes, I agree, Harper. He's a Nazi, but he did turn. They haven't showed much of it, but he did turn, and he is actually a face right now.
He's a Nazi. You just said he's a Nazi.
He's a fucking Nazi, right?
He's a Nazi, but
this isn't like fucking Nikita. He's just Russian. He's a fucking Nazi.
Look, Dad, I know he's a Nazi, but he's really, really not.
So, y'all want to dissect that match? But no, it's Hector and Baron. And they're going to wrestle Shaska and the Barbarian. So the Nazi is teaming up with the Mexican who's going to fight against the black guy. It's like an international fucking challenge.
A Nazi and a Mexican and a fucking black guy walking to a bar together and blah, 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 blah. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, let's keep going. We've beat that horse to death. Oh, boy. So the next match is Ivan Koloff and Krusher Khrushchev versus Mike Samani, and I don't have whoever else they faced on my notes. Tom Savage, maybe. And the Russians win rather quickly. So
I believe it's going. John Savage. Sir John Savage is quarterback down for the Houston Texans.
That's right. The one that fucking had a goddamn seizure on the football field.
Right.
This year. Okay, we're right. Now let's keep going. I gotta say something before I play this. I actually want to take a vote. We got Dusty and Nikita about the promo. Now Nikita's part was like just blah blah blah, but Dusty was pretty damn fired up.
He was
in this promo. So
yes.
I tell you what. Let's muddle through it. Let's play it. Here it is. Nikita and Dusty.
The Superpowers are here. Nikita Koloff, U.S. Champion, World TV Champion, Dusty Rhodes.
It is on fire throughout this country. Starrcade 86. Tully Blanchard, what it really boils down to is the world television title. First Blood, the biggest event in the history of wrestling. Ric Flair, you nailed it. You hit it on the head. Now then the shock's over. Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes, the superpowers in this country, now take charge, now take a hold, and now stand on it, baby. And if there was any doubt in your mind when Nikita came this way for a common bond, a common cause, let it be erased, because Philadelphia knows the power. Albuquerque, Los Angeles, and Starrcade 86, Greensboro, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, they know the power. What it boils down to is the World Television title and the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship, Nikita Koloff. Ric Flair, I hope you training hard. I know how you like to party. You see, I training hard. Many times you come on here and you say good things about Nikita. How you say, try and stay on Nikita's good side. You try and fool Nikita, but it no work, Ric Flair. I smart. You see this, Ric Flair? You as a champion. It had to happen, Ric Flair. In Starrcade, you hold on your belt tight for now. You see, in Starrcade, maybe you last time you're going to hold this Nikita, you get this right here.
Okay, there's Ivan up there.
You talk about superpower. Only superpower is Russia. You don't belong with this Dusty Rhodes up here. What do you think you're doing?
Okay, Dusty's going to the ring.
I'll stop it now. They're about to mix it up in the ring. Dusty gets attacked as he gets in the ring, and then Nikita comes in and comes out, and the Russians. Nikita comes out and he sickles Crusher. So, Doc, thoughts on what we heard?
Before we get to that, and Nikita's voice just doesn't go well with being a babyface here. It's just he still needs somebody to talk for him. He needs to be quiet about Rick partying or. Man, shut up. And I started popping when you could hear Ivan snipping at him from the ring, man. We'll get into that a little bit later, but Ivan was hot.
He was pissed, bro. He was really pissed. Harper, what'd you have on the promo?
I love the I smart.
He popped.
That's my favorite part. I smart.
Yeah, if you got to tell me you're smart, you're usually not smart.
You say I smart. Like a fucking caveman.
Now, Dusty was fired up, though. He was on a roll. Got to give Dusty credit. Nikita, I almost wish Dusty would have talked for him there, but it is what it is. You know, this is an audible. We got to remember that. This is not what was intended to happen. So, yeah, there's that. All right, we keep going. The next promo up is the Rock and Roll Express.
Well, hold on a second. Do you think at this point, knowing what you know, is is there something to the fact that Nikita still hasn't touched Ivan? Like, he didn't sickle Ivan.
Well, Dusty, he was over there. Dusty was handling that. So,
right, but it's important because they're saving something there in case they need to go to it that they haven't touched yet. You know.
Oh yeah.
Today we'd give that away. They would have given that away right there.
It would have been given. Well, the first hour it wouldn't have been given away. It would have been given away at the minute 90 mark of the show, because you got 3 hours of fill. So yeah, I agree. There's something to that, and then we'll see something later on in the show where Nikita's promo, Ivan's promo at the end. I'm jonesing to get to it. I really am. So, we will see. Rock and Roll Express is up next. I got the timestamp, but I don't have any notes from it. It really wasn't anything special to me.
No.
I mean,
no.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was.
No.
I just wanted to throw it out there. I wasn't the only one thinking like that. So we're gonna skip that one. Again, it's nothing.
What is it you told me? What did you told me this week? You've come to realize how terrible the rock and roll really is.
I love how you I love how you make shit up, because see what he does. Let me tell y'all what this asshole does.
What? What did I do?
Doc don't have enough work to do at work, so he gets bored. And he starts.
I'm in management, pal.
So he starts sending me IMs, and I hate it because he always wants to talk about the show before we do the show. Whereas I feel like a more natural type of reaction to our opinions is more organic, and I think people enjoy that better. So he IMs me, bruh, I'm getting tired of the rock and roll. It's the same old thing in Smoky Mountain. It's the same old thing in the NWA on the Thursday show. Same old thing every time. And the motherfucker's over there laughing because he knows I'm not lying.
No, why do I all of a sudden have the same voice as your wife?
Because you're a broad too sometimes.
Huh?
Because you're a broad too sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But
I
anyway.
never said that about that. I go back to the top 5. We did a long time ago, and they were the number 1 tag team. So don't give me that shit.
That's fine, but you also said you're tired of them right now.
I didn't say that. I said you're probably getting tired of them. You don't know how to read.
Okay, Mr. Fake News. Let's keep going. We got Arn Anderson versus Eddie Roberts. Arn wins in Magnum style very quickly. Doc, did you time that one?
You think Arn was serious there? He was chirping and talking too.
Let me tell you, they're getting amped up, man. Starrcade's. This is November 8th. We're on the heels of it. It's on the horizon.
They don't run Starrcade at Christmas time. They run that shit at Thanksgiving. So we got to go, pal.
Yeah, we got shit to get to. Harper, what did you have from it?
I think it was about 3 seconds.
Dude, he beat him so quick. I mean, you know how like if you watch it on anybody who watches the network on a computer, it's got like a little bubble on the timeline when the match starts. And then it's got usually one when the match ends. If you ever watch it on a computer, it was the same bubble. That's how quick he beat him. So very quick. Now I do want to play Wahoo because I thought Wahoo was decent here, and it's a quick one. It's only a minute. So Wahoo's up next. He's gonna cut a promo. Here it is.
Okay, also signed the Indian strap match, Wahoo against Ravishing Ric Rude.
That's right, Tony. You know, people saw the match. They saw it on TV where it was signed, and now all I can say is, Ric Rude, get down and hide on your knees and say something to help yourself, because you're going to need it. It's my type of match. It's what I do best. And right here, they're out there bragging. They think it's great 2-on-1. Well, it's not so funny when you're on the receiving end. And I guarantee you, Rude, you're going to be on the receiving end this time, because it's my type of match, a strap match. Only way you can win this match, Tony, is dragging your opponent around, touching all 4 posts. And can you imagine how bad he's got to be hurt for me to drag him around? Right here, they're hanging me. They think it's real funny. Well, just take a good look, Rude, because that's exactly what you're going to look like. And like I said before, Manny, I'll get you in that cage. And believe me, you're not going to like how I'm going to do it. And when I get through with Ric Rude, then you're going to be out of my hair once and for all. And I just hope that it doesn't take an ambulance to haul y'all out of there.
Okay, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, more action right after this.
The reason I said I like that is because I think that's as fired up as you're ever going to get Wahoo. That's him amped up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Harper. What do you think?
It's just, I mean, Wahoo just isn't doing it for me, man. He's just, he's, I mean, like we said, he's just from a different time. And it just isn't doing anything for me, man. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
I'm sorry.
You ain't gotta apologize, Doc. What are you?
Dude, he's dead. He can't hear you.
You're a fucking asshole.
Wow.
I don't want him.
Dumb shit.
I don't want to get in the ring with him, but I also don't want to hear him on the mic. How about that?
Okay. So that's all you got from his promo? I don't want to hear him on the mic?
I had to wake up at the end just to get ready for that. So
have you seen the Mid-Atlantic yet, though? From
where he got butchered by
Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
Fucking forks him like 40 times.
Hey man, he can fire up because he's going to do his firing up in the ring. He's not going to cut a lively promo. I don't know why you play these.
You know what I never realized? I never realized how many times they hung people back in the day. Everybody got hung.
I would think if anybody on this show, you would be aware of that more than anyone else.
That's nice.
Yeah, because you're black.
That's real nice. They didn't.
Casper mattress. There they go.
And if you don't get sickle cell or hung, or some weed planted on you, God, man, how do you navigate life?
Up next is Tully and JJ Dillon. They're gonna cut a promo. Here that is.
It's the first blood match for the World TV title during Starrcade, JJ.
You know, Tony Schiavone, the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Ole and Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard have given me an extended vote of confidence, telling me how proud they are of having manipulated, if you would, one Jim Crockett Jr., Jim Crockett Promotions, setting the groundwork to get what we want for Starrcade 86. But actually, I really don't deserve all the credit because Jim Crockett Jr. kind of weaved his own web and got caught in it because Crockett Promotions has prided themselves year in and year out. That's what Starrcade is all about, why it is so great, because each and every one of the matches is a main event. It's the matches that the wrestling fans have demanded. So it wasn't so much what I demanded, it's the mandate of the people. They want to see the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, put the world television title on the line. The title that Tully Blanchard made what it is in terms of prestige today. They also wanted to see the nemesis of the American Dream, the same Tully Blanchard, go in the ring and fight for the most prestigious title in the world, second only to the world's heavyweight championship. So be it Greensboro, be it Atlanta, Georgia, the two host cities, Starrcade 86 is going to be the greatest of all time.
You know, Dusty Rhodes, all throughout your illustrious career, you've always had things your way. You like to call yourself the dealer. You always wanted to deal the rules. You always were paying people up to get the rules your way. Well, Dusty Rhodes, not this time. I wrote the rules. It's my match. First blood, it's mine. And Dusty Rhodes, the World Television Championship, is going to be around my waist on Thanksgiving Day.
Let's go to the ring.
Doc, thoughts?
Man, when you talk about what's going on behind the scenes, we know that Tully was one of the more vocal guys saying he didn't like how Dusty was running things, or Dusty'd always make sure he was on top or going over. I wonder when he cuts promos on Dusty, how much real life is spilling out there, is what I was thinking. But, you know, JJ's got what he wanted. The other thing I thought here was, man, Tully looked puffy here, man. He looked like he'd been out all night, like he hadn't been to bed yet. I know what that look. I know what that look. He's shiny and puffy. They cut that on Saturday morning. They were out kicking it that night before.
I think he was. Harper, thoughts on the promo?
I'd say Tully was fucking pissed, man.
He really is, and I was gonna say something about that, but I'll keep going and then I'll talk about my thoughts on that.
And he's red.
Dude, he's God.
Yeah.
He's a red
he's
man.
Fire engine red. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So like I don't know if this is in the back of Tully's mind while he's cutting his promo, but I thought to myself, like, you got to remember, last year he's coming off the I Quit match at Starrcade where he quit and still claims he never quit. If you remember, he's like, I never said I quit. So he's still got that, to me, he's got that in the back of his mind. And I think, you know, that's part of it. And like Doc said, we've heard the stories. Tully really was starting to be, maybe not at this point, but I know later on, very critical of Dusty's booking and always putting himself over. So who knows? But This was a hell of a promo. Tully once again cutting a gem, probably underrated because he could do it good. And this is great leading up. I mean, we're only a couple weeks away at this point, leading up to Starrcade. So, yeah, really good stuff there. We'll continue. Now, the next match up is Pablo Crenshaw versus Jimmy Garvin. Another quick one. Garvin wins. We do get some Bill Dundee on commentary for a minute, giving his Starrcade predictions, which I still find funny. And then up next, there is a promo. It is Paul Jones, Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez, and I felt like I need to play it because of Rick Rude. Doc, your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because he throws out some Easter eggs in there, and I'll tell you what I mean.
He sure does.
Yeah. All right, here they are. Here it is.
Hair versus hair, but the strap match, ravishing Rick Rude against Wahoo McDaniel.
Oh, let me tell you something right now, Jimmy Valiant. Your old lady's going to be a ball-headed geek, and Manny Fernandez is not going to be in that cage if we have anything to say about it. Now, Wahoo McDaniels, a piece of paper like this, and Ravishing Rick's name on the bottom and my name underneath that. And we hand it to Jim Crockett Promotions and we say, give us an opponent. And they put Wahoo's name right there. But we didn't say strap match. This man will get in the ring with Wahoo any place, anywhere, anytime, but not in his backyard.
No. But see, that's all right. It's a fact. Wahoo McDaniel has never been beaten in an Indian strap match. But the fact is, Ravishing Rick Rude is bigger, stronger, younger, and I got a whole lot more endurance than you, Red Man. I ain't backing up 1 inch. I'm coming straight for you. And if you think you got hung before, baby, this time, when they get through unhanging you, there ain't gonna be no breath coming from your mouth, big man. Big Red Man, you're going down. I'm gonna beat you at your own game.
Are you gonna let him put scars on that beautiful body of yours?
The scars, I might get a few scars, but Wahoo, for every scar I get, you're getting 10. I trained long and hard to have this beautiful body.
Yeah, did it.
For every inch of scar I have, you're getting 10 inches, baby.
Fans, we're coming right back. Don't go away.
The 10 inches reference I popped on.
Yeah.
All right, Rick. Oh, go ahead, Doc. You're laughing.
There was the 10 inches that got me. But also, Rick Rude just said he was going to kill Wahoo.
Yeah, I mean, it's his 1986 wrestling.
He said when they untie you this time, there's not going to be any breath coming out of you. Which I think, because Rick Rude's awesome, dude. Don't get me wrong. Rick Rude is awesome. He's a dick. He's awesome on the mic. He's cut like hell. He's athletic in the ring. It's Rick Rude. But one of the things that I heard Jake the Snake say is, you never heard me say anything I wasn't willing to do. So I never said I was going to go in there and kill him because I wasn't going to go in there and kill him.
Right.
Rick Rude just said he was going to kill him. And now he's not going to be able to do that. So he's not doing... One of the things we always say about Arn is like, what part of that wasn't true? What haven't they done? So that... It's a small pass because, I mean, again, Rude's in his 20s, but I bet somebody talked to him after that and said, hey, dude, it's not that you said you were going to kill him. We don't care about that. It's just that you're not going to follow up on it.
Yeah, I've always remembered Jake saying things like that. You know, I never said I was going to kill anybody because I knew I wouldn't. I would only say things I knew that I was possible for me to. I mean, he might not have done all of them, but that would be possible. And you're never going to kill a man, obviously, in a ring. I mean, unless you knew Jack trying to throw somebody off a scaffold. But anyway, Harper, your thoughts on Rick Rude? I mean, he threw out the Red Man, Squahoo again. I mean, he's just
Squahoo.
Yeah,
that
dude,
sounds great, man.
He don't give two shits, bro.
Man,
you think someone else would have called him Squahoo? Because it's perfect.
I wonder if anybody said it in some of the stuff we haven't seen, like maybe Mid-Atlantic days or something. Or
Can you imagine somebody in WWE today calling somebody Squahoo on the mic? They would the next week they would be at some corporate sensitivity training. Like all these people in their like Dockers and polos, and then you have like Enzo Amore.
That's why wrestling was not made to be for corporations. That's exactly why.
It's exactly why.
Standards and practices don't work in the wrestling business.
No.
Shit just it doesn't jive, man. It doesn't merge.
That's what it's like. Look, Rick, we don't care that it's a crime that you just said you were going to commit. It's that you're just never going to be able to do it.
Well, like here's the other thing too. Like, and we rarely watch. Well, Doc doesn't at all. Doc tried to turn on Raw like a week ago. He was telling me, and he made it 10 minutes and was passed out. But people nowadays.
Let me clarify. I was in a hotel room with like 8 channels. I was like, shit. I guess if
he put it on and couldn't take
if I have to. And I was in the Eastern time zone. I was like, dude, how do people stay up this late? Shit. And it came on, and I was like, bro, man, they had Steph out there looking great, but she just started she's 6 inches taller than the Japanese wrestler they had out there. I was like, man, this is bullshit. I just went to bed.
But my point was going to be, people nowadays pop when WWE wrestlers say the word bitch and ass. That's what they pop on.
You're right,
You think back to like the stuff we're popping on. Motherfucker out here calling somebody a squawoo, a red man. Then he starts throwing out Easter eggs about his dick being 10 inches. Because he said, I'm going to give you 10 inches for every inch. Like, whoa, wait, we're not talking about banging broads here, Rick. Where are you getting all that from? Just the shit they say. Like, back then, they didn't care. What was that thing I played from Dusty a few weeks ago? I got that from a longtime listener, Jeff Jewett. I can't remember. It was something about, what did he say? He was talking about Mexicans.
Too fat to ride.
No, not just that. He said something about Mexicans hopping a fence or something. It's just the shit you... I mean, they pop on little things now. Like I said, you say bitch and ass, that gets a pop. Man, that's nothing back in the day.
On this week's Shivani show, it was like the Clash of the Champions 10 in Corpus Christi with Cornette and Ross on commentary. And apparently, Horny was like saying they needed towels to wipe up all the dripping that was going on in the floor from the fans because they were all wet backs.
Jesus Christ. I think I might have to go listen to that now that you said
it. That's real classy.
Jesus. Well, there you go.
There you go.
That was Clash 10, so that's in like... Oh, shit, what year is that? Clash
Probably
10.
89 or 90.
Yeah, that's got to be like 90, man. I'm trying to think. I can't do the math in my head that quick, but... God damn. Yeah, see, there you go. Clash 10... I mean, we'll get to this obviously at some point, but that's when isn't that when Doom got unmasked? Did they talk about that, Doc?
They were talking about. I'm still listening to it, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Doom got unmasked in that one, which I thought kind of sucked because I remember that.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't just sit around all day at work and listen to podcasts and IMU, pal.
Next thing you're gonna do is tell me you sit around at work, you listen to Tony and Conrad, and then you watch the pay-per-view along with them that they're reviewing. That's just next fucking thing. Jesus. Okay. So
it was held in 1988, pal. Spring of.
Clash 10?
Yeah.
Damn, 88 didn't feel like that.
No. Hold on a second.
That don't sound right.
Hold on.
Some historian you are, jackass.
No, that's not right. That's not right. I got to do a little bit more.
Okay, you do that while I go to the next
thing. I think everybody wants to follow along with me here.
What is it?
I'm looking. I'm almost there. February 6th, 1990.
That's what I thought. I say, yeah, that sounds right. Wow. I thought it was actually good. I kind of remember that one. Those were the free ones. Yeah. That was
that's all you could afford back then.
Well, by that point, we still didn't have cable, but like my neighbor did, so I could kind of mooch off of them and get some TBS sometime, from them, and yeah.
Fuck, that was a treat back in the day, bro. Clash of the Champions. Fuck.
Hell yeah,
yeah, dude, that was the shit.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've been going back and watching a few of them on the network, and like for every Steamboat and Flair match, there's a ding dongs and some bullshit.
Yeah,
but.
Didn't matter. It wasn't squash matches on Saturday night.
Right, exactly. And it was like a free pay-per-view, so it definitely had it was good. All right.
Okay, so here's a question off topic but on topic. What year do you think you watched your first wrestling pay-per-view?
Like live?
Yeah, like I'm ordering this. I'm in the room watching it as it's happening.
Well, I never ordered one personally.
No, I said watched it. I know you're a thief. So.
No, I'm not. It wasn't stealing. I had a friend that had one of those gimmick boxes that got it.
Yeah.
Y'all are gonna make fun of me, man. It probably was like 94, 95.
God damn, you fucker.
Bruh, I couldn't afford it. I mean, dude, it was hard to be a wrestling fan for me, especially when pay-per-view started, because I never got to see that shit live, and it sucked. Now, like, I remember when we got cable, you know, the old-time cable boxes, you turn it to the channel, and you could kind of hear what was going on and maybe see it, kind of like you used to do with porn back in the day. You know, you turn it to the channel, and then you can't really see it, but every now and then it clears up on you, but you could listen to it. Yeah, I used to do that with some of the pay-per-views when we finally got cable, but I never, like, watched them.
I thought you were going to say it was hard because you were too busy wandering the streets calling out for your dad to try to get him to come home.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I would say my first pay-per-view...
Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate it, asshole.
I was going to say my first pay-per-view was probably late 95.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Well,
Hopper, we weren't privileged like you, man.
I was in college, and we were still cutting that thing a few ways. No, you can't come in. Where's your money? $5, dude.
$5. There you go. All right. So let's keep going. We had a promo coming up. It's Jimmy Garvin and Bill Dundee. I'm not going to play it, but I did want to say this. Garvin evidently has a new tag partner, according to Dundee.
Buddy must have worn out his welcome.
Yeah, where the fuck Buddy at?
Buddy.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
I haven't played that in a while, but I think that might have been part of it, and then this may have been part of it again too. Who knows?
Now, I'm one of these guys that can't just fuck something up. I gotta fuck it all the way up.
Okay. I miss you, buddy. So
Buddy, I like Buddy.
Me too. God, Buddy's like one of my favorites ever. Poor Buddy. But Buddy, I can't remember if he's definitely gone at this point. I'm gonna assume so because of this announcement with all of a sudden they're going to be partners. I don't know. So we'll see. But Garvin is yapping about facing Brad Armstrong at Starrcade 86. So there you go. Jimmy Garvin, that is. Not the other Garvin. Not Ron Garvin. But anyway, all right, let's keep going. Boogie comes out and
DeMarcus Cousins?
No, not that Boogie.
Oh.
Thanks, Doc, for rubbing it in continuously. What do we have on Boogie? Anything?
Yeah.
I gotta play it. Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Chin to the lips, baby.
Okay, we have this interview with Bob Cottle. Let's go to it this time.
Speaking now of Starrcade 86, here are two people that are going to be a very important part of Starrcade 86, the Boogeyman and Big Mama. Jimmy?
Woo, the Boogeyman feels good today, baby. Look at him, mama. All right, baby. All right. You know something? Willie. There is something stronger than blood, and that's love. Love conquers all, you see. Willie, you were my blood. You gonna be up high, way up high in that cage, you understand? Now, Paul Jones, I ask for one more shot at your hair. Well, we got it. Your hair against Big Mama's hair. And I do nothing to put your hair. If I lose, her head shaved. If I win, Paul Jones, finally, you will be a bald-headed geek.
Okay, so I want y'all to... Doc, you go first, and then I got something to say about this. Not related to the promo, but not related to the promo, so go ahead.
He just told you that jizz is stronger than blood, dude.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Love conquers all.
Whoa.
It's easier to get out.
It's okay. All right. Anything
That's
else?
That's one of those ones where we just played it, and a lot of times the audio makes me pick up on things that I normally miss. That's one where y'all all need to go back and watch.
Yeah, if you got the network, you might want to see Big Mama prancing on in there and Boogie dancing. And
can you imagine what those two were like out in the bars and stuff?
In real life?
Yes.
I'm gonna refrain from comment.
I bet it's not too much different than what we see here, but that's how just crazy is that in a normal setting.
However, what did you think about the promo?
He said fucking love is, what did he say? Love is thicker than fucking blood?
Something like that.
Something like that.
He should write songs.
Maybe he should.
Willie. Here's my hit.
Willie.
My hit's called Willie.
All right, so let me.
And his fucking jeans, if you can look, his fucking jeans are all the way pulled up just like he wears his fucking gear.
Yep. So I'll listen to that 30-minute shoot interview that I found of Big Mama online, and her name is we talked about her name the other day and or last week or week before that. So I found a way to get in touch with her, and I haven't reached out to her yet, but I'm gonna reach out to her and ask her if she would like to come on and tell the story about how she got in with Jim Crockett. Well, how Big Mama came to be and what she thought about this angle and all that good stuff. So she seems like a nice lady, and I'd actually love to talk to her about this angle in wrestling in general. And so who knows? I'm not promising anything because I haven't contacted her yet, but I have a way of contacting her. We'll see. Big Mama, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Big Mama on the show, tweet me. Say, yes, we would love to hear Big Mama on the show. So maybe, I don't know. There's an old shoot interview she did 6-7 years ago where she said she would do interviews. That's 7 years ago, so who knows if she's willing to do them now. However, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But anyway. All right, let's get to wrapping this thing up or get to the last part of the show. We got Willie. We got Brad Armstrong versus the Grim Reaper. Brad wins quickly. I don't have anything else.
They spilled Grim Reaper right this time.
Did we find out who he is?
He's the Grim Reaper.
No, Tim Moretti told me, and I can't remember.
What the fuck?
Come on, dude.
I'm supposed to remember everything now.
Yes.
Dude, I take all the notes for this shit. I got all the timestamps.
Oh,
I put together the YouTube. I put together the YouTube version of this every single week. And you get on me.
That shit.
People are tired of hearing. People are tired of you, dude. They're tired of hearing this shit. Just make things happen and shut up.
Well, if you are listening to the show on YouTube, this is just one portion of it. You got to go to tinyurl.com/bttpod or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, Podcast Addict, TuneIn Radio. Search Book in the Territory and you get the full version of the show with the interviews, opening of the show, closing of the show, and all that good stuff. This is just the NWA portion that I put up. Anyway, let's keep going. Well, Doc, you always like to talk to me about what's going on with these shows, but this last interview you popped and sent me an immediate text message. So I'm going to play it right now. This is Uncle Ivan, what I think is at his best. Here it is.
Ivan and Crusher, and we saw what Nikita did coming into the ring.
I still cannot believe what has happened. Nikita, if you would have came face to face with me and told me that there was the freedom in America that was appealing to you, that all the cheers from the American people is what you wanted, maybe I could have understood it. But instead, you sneak behind our back and you team up with this dirty, dusty Rhodes.
Let's take a look at that tape, Ivan. I think it warrants taking a look at once again.
Yes, I want to see you triumph fool.
All right, give me a second. I'm not gonna edit this out. I'll fast forward it to the part where Nikita starts or Ivan starts.
Just less than 5 minutes ago, you were telling Harper how hard you work on this show, everything you do, and then in the next turn, I ain't gonna edit this out. Fuck it, dude.
What the fuck, bro?
Fuck it, dude. Fuck it.
He's just waiting. What's he gonna do? He took the sickle and put it on
pressure! My goodness! Look at Ivan!
Nikita, for what you have done to your family, to your country, striking the pressure with sickle, this will never be forgotten. We will never forgive you for this. You are not my nephew anymore. You have no country, no family. Nikita, you will be punished all country way, like I said before. For you, it is all over.
We'll see you next week.
Bro, when he said you will be punished old country way, I was thinking to myself,
what could that be?
They did some some devilish shit to people.
Out to the gulag out in Siberia for you, pal.
I was like, what is he going to do to him?
We'd kill you, but that's too quick.
Right. Shit. And I go back to it, man. If you grew up in our generation, us three, that Cold War shit was real. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, the Russians were as haters as they come. What the fuck are they going to do to Nikita? Jesus Christ.
It's Siberia time.
I mean, think about it. So, I mean, did the U.S. like say, okay, we got to protect this guy now because if he goes, if these Russians want to get him back to that country, man, this dude's going to be he'll be dead, but he's fighting for us now.
That'd have been funny if, like, he changed his name to Nikita Koloff for real, and then they, like, deported him for real, and he ended up in Siberia.
Jesus.
He had lived the gimmick too hard and ended up going from Minnesota to Siberia.
They disowned
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. Doc, what else did you have? Anything?
Well, he's disowned. He's out. He's crossed a line that you don't want to cross, and now there's going to be consequences. And he said it. I mean, just the tenseness in his voice. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. He got it all in, and I believe it. And, dude, Uncle Ivan's going to get his, pal.
That shit was off the chain.
Yeah.
Harper, I know I kind of went off on it at the end of it,
yeah,
but anything else?
I mean, when he says, you're no longer my nephew, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's it. I think it's over with.
We're going to deal with you.
You're fucking dead to me. Yeah, you're fucking dead to me.
We're going to deal with you in the old school way of Mother Russia. God. Holy shit! Are you gonna like dangle him by his ankles and
that's the
let him freeze to death? I mean, fuck.
That's the wonderful part about it. Kevin Sullivan always says this on his podcast. Whether you're watching a horror movie or a wrestling angle, don't give everything away because what I can come up with my own imagination is probably worse than what you had in mind in the first place. So don't tell me what the old country way is. Let me think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. It's very true.
It's a sleight of hand here. Come on now, it's a work.
So, Doc, with that said, who's getting a Rolex?
Ivan.
Hopper, who's getting a Rolex?
You know what? I'm giving mine to Rick for that fucking line he said about fucking Nikita.
Nikita's got to convince himself to win. Yeah.
You got to talk yourself into believing you could beat me.
Yeah,
that's fucking great. Yeah,
whereas I know I can beat you. That was a good one. I was torn when as I watched this. I thought Rick, but then I was like, they went off the air with that Nikita promo, and I gotta say, that's got to be one of the best endings we've seen on a Saturday night in a while. The way that shit went off with him.
Man, he's got that. He's got that divot in his head that's just a scab.
God, that looks rough, man.
He's got the goddamn Russian sickle on his fucking arm. Tattooed.
That's what I was going to say. It's not that, dude. I looked at it again. It's a Russian sickle buried into the skull of an eagle.
That's what it is?
Yes. Talk about commitment to your character. Think he got any trouble for that over the years?
I told you the story I heard on a Wade Keller podcast one time where Bruce Mitchell talked about the fact that like American, like I don't know if it was FBI agents or US FBI agents or people from the Homeland Security, they actually showed up at the arena to get him, and he had to like say, hey, keep this shit on the down low, this is he had to basically explain kayfabe without saying kayfabe, and he was like,
I'm from Canada, dudes.
Right, I'm Canadian. This is part of my character. It's like a television show, et cetera, and he had to really talk him out of show his citizenship. I can't remember the full story, but it was fantastic. And I was thinking to myself, God damn, how far have we come from that to now?
It's a shame.
It's
not
incredible.
How far. It's how far have we regressed?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And here, let me tell you something. Martin. And let me help you, Mr. History Buff. There was no such thing as the Department of Homeland Security.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember what. I don't remember who.
Pop up to 9/11,
right?
Right.
He's inventing. He's rewriting history like all white people. Like all white people like to do.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to explain that they came to talk to him, the authorities, in the back at a wrestling event because they wanted to make sure he wasn't a threat to the USA as he's terrorizing every.
Because you know the agent's like, that shit's fake, right? And he goes, yeah, but we probably better go down there and make sure.
All right, so I'm giving mine to, like I said, Ivan's getting my Rolex too. So I think he got one a couple weeks ago as well. Doc, what are you gonna rate this puppy?
Man, it's 31 minutes. That's good.
Yeah.
I think they're about to start getting longer here in a minute. I don't know how I'm going to handle that shit.
That's going to be the difference when we go back to that.
Also, I believe we have 2 more episodes, and then we are going to take a break from the Saturday nights because we'll do Starrcade itself.
Yep.
Remember?
Wow.
So that'll be fun, and just to give listeners a sneak peek. But I'm going to say, give me an A-. Good episode.
I'll go next. A- as well. I thought this was fine. This was real good. I mean, Rick and Ivan just by themselves. I mean, they made it that much better.
Dusty was good. Rick Rude was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Boogie and Big Mama were out there making me laugh.
And fucking Tully.
Oh yeah. Shit, Tully was good too.
Yeah.
So what you got,
if they would if they just get rid of these stupid matches and talk more shit, they'd get an A+.
Harper, what you giving it?
A solid A. It gets a B just for being a fucking half an hour long. I mean, that right there is just a fucking B.
Quick watch, bruh.
Yes.